Here's a hard truth that's going to sting a little bit. Most businesses quit their ads right before they start working. I'm talking about abandoning campaigns around day 60, when the magic really happens between day 60 and day 90. And that's just the first secret we're covering today. We're also going to talk about why 76% of marketers are failing at targeting, the retargeting strategy that increases conversions by 43%, and the scaling secret that Frank Kern uses to grow his campaigns exponentially. But here's what I love most about these secrets. They're not theoretical. Every single one is backed by real data from real campaigns with real results. So grab a notepad because you're going to want to write these down. Please don't forget this. Results vary. Any discussion of revenue is based on verified client case studies and is not a guarantee of future performance. I'm your host, Joe Sayles Jr. Welcome to Flip Your Marketing Flops, the digital marketing and lead generation podcast. Welcome to Flip Your Marketing Flops, the podcast, providing weekly episodes of presentations, interviews, and conversations with marketing professionals and industry experts discussing common marketing mistakes and how to prevent them. If you're an entrepreneur, local service-based business owner, small business marketer, or a new digital marketing professional, and you don't normally have access to insider marketing knowledge, then this podcast is for you. My purpose is to teach you the hacks, tips, and secrets that will prevent common marketing mistakes, saving you both time and money. Well, today I'm sharing something special with you. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with campaigns that have profitably spent more than $40 million on digital advertising. And through all of it, I've discovered 6 insider secrets that separate the businesses scaling from 7 figures from everyone else who's struggling with their lead generation. Now, before we dive in, I want you to think about this. How long do you typically give your paid ads before you decide they don't work? Keep that number in mind because what I'm about to share might completely change how you approach your advertising campaigns. Secret number 1, the 90-day success plan. All right, let's start with secret number 1, and this one's going to save thousands of dollars in wasted ad spend. The 90-day success plan. Now, I want you to be honest with me here. When you launch a new ad campaign, how long do you give it before you start getting antsy? A week? Maybe 2 weeks? Maybe a month if you're really patient? Here's what WebEffects found in their research, and I'm quoting directly here. PPC takes 3 months to work on average. The first 3 months of a PPC campaign should focus on gathering data from your ads, which you can then use to improve your keyword targeting, your audience targeting, and bids. 3 months. That's 90 days, not 30 days, not 2 weeks, but 3 full months. And here's why this matters so much. At any given time, only 2 to 5% of your potential customers are ready to purchase immediately. That means 95 to 98% of the people who might buy from you need more time. They need more touch points and more nurturing before they're ready to make a decision. So when you launch a campaign and expect immediate results, you're essentially ignoring 95% of your potential audience. Here's what's actually happening behind the scenes. Algorithms, whether it's Facebook, Google, or any other platform, how to find your ideal customers. These algorithms are incredibly smart, but they need data to work with. Second, your tests. It's not unusual to test 10 different variables during campaign optimization. Different images, headlines, audiences, landing pages, calls to action, even different colors on your landing page. Each test requires time to collect enough data to make informed decisions. Third, You're building your target audiences, those people who visited your site but didn't buy. They're pure gold for future campaigns, but you need time to build these audience pools. Mistake. Businesses that quit after 30 or 60 days because they're not seeing the ROI they expected. They're literally stopping right before the campaigns start to really work. So here's your action step for secret number 1. The next time you launch a campaign, commit to 90 days minimum. Budget for 90 days, plan for 90 days, and don't judge success until you hit that 90-day mark. Trust me, this change alone will transform your advertising results. Secret number 2. Secret number 2 is all about lead magnets, and the research on this one will blow your mind. According to Medium.com, research shows that using good lead magnets for lead generation can increase the opt-in rate by almost 85%. That's 85%. That's not a typo. We're talking about nearly doubling your conversion rates with one simple strategy. But here's what businesses get wrong. They create one lead magnet, use it occasionally, and then wonder why their conversion rates are terrible. The secret isn't just having a lead magnet, it's using lead magnets everywhere, consistently, across every single touch point. Now, you might be thinking, Joe, I don't have time to create a dozen different lead magnets. And I get it. But here's the thing. Some of the most effective lead magnets are also the easiest to create. Free trials and coupons. They don't require weeks of planning. Checklists and cheat sheets. You probably have the knowledge to create one of those right now. Case studies from your existing customers. Those are just stories you're already telling. The key is understanding what your audience actually wants. Are they looking for quick wins? If so, give them a checklist. Do they want to see proof that your solutions work? Share a case study or a testimonial. Are they price sensitive? Offer an exclusive coupon. And a really big one in the emerging age of AI is, are they trying to answer a question? If so, then show them ways to solve it. Here's how the pros implement this. They integrate lead magnets into their paid ads, their social media campaigns, their website pages, their email signatures, and even their sales conversations. They use them in their follow-up activities as well. And think about it this way. Instead of asking someone to buy immediately, you're offering valuable information in exchange for their contact details. This builds your email list with qualified prospects who you can then nurture over time. But this also builds trust in your ability to help them solve problems, as well as demonstrating your knowledge and your expertise. And here's a pro tip. Different lead magnets work for different stages of the buyer's journey. Early stage prospects might want educational content like guides or checklists. Later stage prospects might be more interested in free trials or consultations. The action step here is to audit your current marketing efforts and ask yourself, where should I add a lead magnet? I guarantee you'll find at least 3 opportunities you're currently missing. Now we're getting to secret number 3, and this might be the most underutilized strategy in all of digital marketing. It's retargeting and remarketing. Let me share some numbers with you that should make you pay attention. According to Criteo, website visitors who are retargeted are more likely to convert by 43%. Wishpond found that the click-through rate of a retargeted ad is 10 times higher than the click-through rate of a typical display ad. And here's my favorite statistic. PR Newswire reported that compared to other placement strategies, retargeting generated the highest lift in business name searches by 1,046%. Over 1,000% increase in brand searches. But here's the reality that most businesses don't understand. When you run ads, 95 to 98% of the people who see them won't be ready to purchase immediately. And what do most businesses do with the massive group of interested prospects? They ignore them completely. And that's a problem. It's like having a store where 100 people walk in and 95% of them look around and leave. And instead of following up on those 95 people, you just focus on the 5 who bought something that day. Well, online it's different. This is where retargeting and remarketing can come in, and yes, there's a difference between the two, but they can definitely make a difference. Retargeting is re-advertising to people who visited your site using the same platforms. So showing Facebook ads to people who visited your website from a previous Facebook ad. Remarketing involves using different channels to get back in front of those same people, like sending emails or text messages to someone who has already visited your website. Here's why this works so well. You're competing against much less competition for warm audiences, which lowers your ad costs. Plus, you're nurturing people who already showed interest in what you're offering. Think about your own buyer behavior. How often do you buy something the very first time you see it advertised? Probably not very often, right? You usually need to see it multiple times, maybe read some reviews, perhaps compare it to alternatives. You may ask friends about it. Then, as your interest grows, you research more about it. That's exactly what your potential customers are doing too. The strategy here is to use a portion of your budget, I recommend 20 to 30%, specifically for retargeting campaigns. But here's the key. Don't just keep showing them the same sales message over and over. Instead, create educational content that builds know, like, and trust. Show them how your product or service solves their problems. Share customer success stories. Provide value first, then ask for the sale. I had one client who was spending about $5,000 a month on cold traffic and getting decent results. When we added retargeting campaigns, their overall conversion rate increased by 38%, and their cost per acquisition dropped by 25%. The same budget, but better results. And that's what you're going to get. So the action step here is, if you're not already retargeting your website visitors, set that up this week. It's one of the fastest ways to improve your ROI. Secret number 4. Secret number 4 is about understanding your target audience, and the statistics here are pretty shocking. SmallBizGenius.net found that 76% of marketers fail to use behavioral data for online ad targeting. That means 3 out of 4 marketers are basically winging it. They're guessing when it comes to targeting their ads. Now, I understand why this happens, especially for local business owners. When you can serve many different types of customers, it's tempting to try to speak to everyone in your advertising. But here's a quote that should change how you think about this forever. When you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. That's a quote from Meredith Hill, and is absolutely true. When your ad tries to appeal to everyone, it ends up resonating with no one. It becomes generic, forgettable, and ineffective. So the solution is to create specific buyer personas with unique desires and needs. Then develop targeted ads for each persona instead of trying to create a one-size-fits-all campaign. Now, if you're thinking, but Joe, I don't know exactly who my ideal customer is, don't panic. Here's what you do. Start with a broader targeting and use analytics to help you identify patterns. Let the data tell you who converts best, then double down on those characteristics. You can also look at your current customers. What demographics do they share? What problems were they trying to solve when they found you? What language do they use when describing their challenges? Then use this information to create more targeted ads with specific offerings that are tied to specific buyer personas. Instead of saying, "We help businesses grow," you might say, "We help dental practices attract new patients without spending more on marketing." See the difference? The second message speaks directly to a specific audience with a specific problem. So here's a practical exercise for you. Take your current ad and ask yourself, who exactly is this for? If your answer is anyone who needs it, then you need to get more specific with that ad. Understanding your audience also helps you know where to find them online. Different demographics hang out on different platforms and respond to different types of content. So the action step here is simple but powerful. Define one specific ideal customer for your next campaign. Don't try to serve everyone. Pick one persona, create messaging that speaks directly to them, and watch your conversion rates improve. Secret number 5 is about scaling, and this is where a lot of businesses leave money on the table. I want to share a story about mega online marketer Frank Kern. In a webinar I went to not too long ago, he explained his scaling strategy, and it's brilliant in its simplicity. He said he pays ads off daily, and when they're successful, he increases the ad budgets based on their profitability. Let me repeat that. He said he pays off his ads daily, and when they're successful, he increases their ad budgets based on their profitability. So think about that for a second. He's not setting arbitrary monthly budgets. He's not saying, we spend $2,000 a month on ads and that's it. He's saying, if this campaign is making money, let's put more money into it. The mistake that too many businesses, especially small businesses, make is setting firm advertising budgets without any plan to increase them when campaigns are working successfully. This approach caps your growth potential and prevents you from capitalizing on winning campaigns. Here's what you should be thinking about instead. What's my profitable cost per conversion? Once you know that number, you can scale intelligently. Let's say you sell a product for $100 and your cost to fulfill it is $40. That means you have $60 in profit margin. If you can acquire a customer for $30, you're making $30 profit per sale. At that point, why wouldn't you want to spend as much as possible on that campaign? But here's where most businesses get it wrong. They'll say, great, we made $30 profit on a $30 ad spend. Let's keep our budget at $1,000 a month. Instead, they should be saying this. This is working. Let's increase the budget to $2,000, then $3,000, then $5,000, as long as it remains profitable. The key is having systems in place to track your actual return on investment, not just vanity metrics like clicks and impressions. You need to know exactly how much profit each campaign is generating. I work with one client who is spending $1,500 a month on Google Ads and generating about $4,500 in revenue for a 3-to-1 return. Instead of celebrating and maintaining that budget, we gradually scaled it up. Within 6 months, they were spending $8,000 a month and generating $2,800 in revenue. Same profitability ratio, but now they're making $20,000 per month. The action step here was to look at the most profitable campaigns right now. If they're generating positive ROI, start testing higher budgets. Increase by 20 to 30% and monitor the results. If profitability is maintained, increase again. Keep scaling until you hit the point of diminishing returns. Don't let arbitrary budget limits cap your growth potential. And that brings us to secret number 6, which might be the most important one of all: consistency. Throughout my years of working with businesses on their lead generation, one pattern stands out to me above everything else. That one thing is consistency. The businesses that maintain consistent marketing efforts are the ones that succeed. The ones that stop and start and stop and start, they're the ones that struggle. When campaigns aren't performing immediately, it's tempting to pause them, to try something else, or just take a break from advertising altogether. But here's what happens when you do that. First, you break up your optimization efforts. Just when the algorithms are starting to learn your ideal customers, you reset everything back to zero. Second, you lose momentum with your audience. Consistent exposure builds brand recognition and trust. When you're inconsistent, people forget about you. And third, you never get enough data to identify what's actually working versus what's failing. Maybe your headlines are great, but your audiences are wrong. Maybe your audiences are perfect, but your landing page needs work. Without consistency, you'll never know. Think about the biggest brands you know. Do they run ads for a month and then completely disappear for several months? Then they come back with a completely different campaign? Well, sometimes they do, and it's because of the season or things of that nature. But in general, they do something to stay in front of you over and over again. They maintain a consistent presence and messaging. Now, I'm not saying you need to spend thousands of dollars every month, because if your budget is tight, it's better to spend $500 consistently than spend $2,000 one month and nothing for the next 3 months. The algorithms on platforms like Facebook and Google reward consistent spenders. They give you better ad placement, lower costs, and more stable performance when you maintain regular activity. So here's your action step. Whatever budget you can realistically maintain for at least 6 months, start there. Don't commit to spending more than you can sustain just because you want faster results. Consistency beats intensity every single time. All right, let's quickly recap these 6 insider secrets because I want to make sure you walk away with clear action steps. Secret number 1 was the success plan. You need to commit to 90 days minimum for any new campaign. Budget for it, plan for it, and don't judge success until you hit that 90-day mark. Secret number 2, use lead magnets everywhere. Research shows they can increase opt-in rates by 85%. Integrate them into every marketing touchpoint, not just occasionally. Secret number 3 is retargeting and remarketing. You can get 43% higher conversion rates for retargeted visitors. So set aside 20 to 30% of your budget for following up with warm traffic. Secret number 4, targeted audience needs. 76% of marketers failed at targeting because they try to speak to everyone. So define specific buyer personas and create targeted messaging. Secret number 5, scale what works. Don't set arbitrary budget limits. When campaigns are profitable, increase spending based on performance. It's that simple. And secret number 6 is consistency. This separates the winners from the strugglers. Consistent efforts outperform sporadic big pushes every time. Now here's what I want you to do. Don't try to implement all 6 secrets at once. That's a recipe for overwhelm and poor execution. Instead, pick one secret, the one that resonates most with you, and focus on implementing just that one over the next week. Maybe it's setting up your first retargeting campaign. Maybe it's creating a lead magnet for your best performing ad. Or maybe it's committing to a 90-day timeline for your next campaign. Whatever you choose, focus on that one thing, implement it properly, and then move on to the next secret. And here's the thing, your competition is probably making these mistakes right now. By implementing even 1 or 2 of these secrets, you're gaining a significant competitive advantage. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you of something important. These aren't just theories or ideas I picked up from a marketing blog somewhere. These are proven strategies I've learned from over my $40 million in profitable ad spend across dozens of different industries. The businesses that implement all 6 of these secrets consistently are the ones that scale eventually to 7 figures and beyond. The ones that ignore them are the ones that struggle with lead generation and wonder why their competitors seem to have it all figured out. Now, if you found value in today's episode, I'd love it if you could do 3 quick things for me. First, subscribe to the show if you haven't already. We release new episodes every week with actionable marketing insights just like this. Second, if this episode helped you, please leave a review. It takes less than 2 minutes and it helps other business owners find the show. And third, share this episode with one person who's struggling with their lead generation. Maybe it's a fellow business owner. Maybe it's someone in your networking group, or maybe it's your business partner. These secrets can truly transform someone's advertising results. If you want to go deeper into any of these strategies, reach out to me. We offer training, coaching, and even done-for-you services to help implement these exact strategies in your business. You should also download my gift, Top 6 Insider Lead Generation Secrets of the Pros, at www.leadgenerationmadesisimple.net/T6ILGS. Or just email me at joe@flipyourmarketingflops.com if you have a specific question about your campaigns. Before I forget, I got to remind you of this. Results may vary. Any discussion of revenue is based on verified client case studies and is not a guarantee of future performance. And remember, every marketing flop is just a lesson waiting to be flipped. Your breakthrough might be just one campaign optimization away. Until next time, I'm Joe Sayles Jr., and thanks for listening to Flip Your Marketing Flops, and I'll see you in the next episode. Flip Your Marketing Flops is the digital marketing and lead generation podcast where you can listen in on the latest digital marketing and lead generation trends and tips through conversations with marketing professionals. We're helping service businesses and entrepreneurs produce better marketing results. Tune into our latest episode on your favorite listening platform. For more information, visit flipyourmarketingflops.com. Remember, every marketing flop is just a lesson waiting to be flipped.